join me in the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna have to sneak in here sometime and get me a higher chair. I feel like I'm sitting down, the table's up to my ears up here. No, I'm fine, I'm fine.
Mr. Cordell moves that chair up.
I figured that's who it was. I wasn't gonna accuse anybody. The thought had crossed my mind. Mr. Johnson, do we have the roll?
Yes, sir.
All righty. First item on the agenda then is to approve the regular agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Ms. Bogman, second by Ms. Hayes. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, we have an agenda. Next item on the agenda is adoption of consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Motion approved by Mr. Hawkins and second by Mr. Cordell. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Seeing none, that is approved as well. Next item, consideration of minutes from the June 19th regular meeting. Do I have a motion? Motion approved by Mr. Wise. Second by Ms. Hayes. All in favor?
I think that was actually Mr. Daniels.
Oh, was it Mr. Daniels?
You don't mistake me for that guy.
May the record reflect that was Mr. Daniels. That sounded like Ted. Did I say that out loud? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is recognition and hearing delegations. Don't see any. So we move on. Matters involving council. I do believe we have an executive session tonight. So we will recess shortly and for a short time, and we'll be back shortly. Call the meeting back to order. Do we have a motion?
I have a motion, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, following the untimely death of our former outside counsel Melinda Jacobs on June of this year, actually it passed away on May 12th, I'd like to make a motion that we nominate and appoint her former law partner, Deanna Arovitz, to take over in her role on the cases that Melinda Jacobs was handling for the Sumner County Board of Education.
Have a second. Second by Ms. Bachman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is reports from the director. Dr. Phillips.
So we're preparing, obviously, for admin days. If you didn't know, summer's over. It's time to start school again. So we're going to make sure everything, I think Andy and his guys are already out, and we have air conditioners getting cranked up so we can make sure it's going to be nice and cool on the first day, or give it our best shot to make that happen. We'll have admin days, and then school will start. So it's always a fun time of the year. And so when you get to see the yellow buses moving and parents dropping kiddos off, and it's a happy time, and we always, as educators, look forward to that. So that's fast approaching. New teacher, I think, is this Friday, and new administrators was last week. So we've had some good PD and good training, good time to visit with new administrators, folks in the system. So looking forward to a good year. It's here. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Next item on the agenda is new business, discussion and interaction regarding a revision to policy G5.118 background investigations.
I make a motion for approval and waiving of second reading.
Motion by Mr. Wise, second by Mr. Daniels.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you, thank you, Mr. Wise. This is a variation of the existing law, but it has some new language in it. And I'm going to try real fast to tell you, since 2004, we've been background checking all new employees. Okay? This law changes it to where we're going to have to background check every employee. They did not in the statute specify a time frame, although from all legal opinion across the state, we think a 5-year window seems to be pretty reasonable, especially for really large systems. To give you an idea, we have 719 currently employees that were hired prior to 2004 that are still with us that will have to go through the first rounds of the background check. We're going to try to do that in a nice, orderly fashion. We're going to take those folks first, and we're going to try to break it up by campuses and kind of geographically and do it where we can manage it and communicate that and the reason why we're doing that for those employees. And it will have a cost to it. Of course, all these things typically do. We anticipate probably around $30,000 a year in additional cost to us. When new employees come to us, they pay that fee as a condition of employment. Since this is a change in the law for employees that have been with us, obviously for a long time, since 2004 or before, we're going to pay that expense because I felt like that was the right thing to do for the employees. So we're going to take care of it. It'll be about $30,000 of new expense through HR to make that happen. Be glad to answer any questions. Need it waived so Naomi can go ahead and start preparing to try to figure out how we're gonna which campuses to do first and communicate that out.
Any further discussion? Mr. Hawkins?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my question for Dr. Phillips is, this will include not only the TBI or Tennessee statewide, but also a national database through the FBI or comparable?
Yeah, we check that now on new employees, don't we, Naomi?
We have FBI and TBI now, and Tennessee's in the process of building, I think, the system you're talking about, but they're talking 3 to 4 years before they're complete.
So we will be doing a broad scale scan for all of our existing employees hired prior to 2004.
Correct, TBI and FBI.
Okay.
So it covers all.
And then this also dovetails with the new law that says school systems in Tennessee are no longer supposed to just dump out employees who are fired for sexual contact with students. We have to start being able to disclose why they're terminated. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we do that now. I mean,
Through the
yeah.
Department of Education?
Yep, and we report it immediately. It's just part of our process, and we've been doing that since I've been here. It's part of our process. We report it. The state immediately puts a hold on their license, and then there's a process that the employee has to go through with the state board, through the state TDOE attorney, to try to either prove their case or not. So, yep, that's been happening.
Thank you.
Ms. Brown?
I had met with Human Resources when I first came on, and they told me that after a new teacher was hired, although they paid originally, they got it refunded later if they stayed. Is that true or not true?
For substitutes, it is. Classified have never been reimbursed, not since I've been here, maybe prior to 2016.
I'm talking about teachers.
Teachers certified are not reimbursed.
They are not?
Not currently, not for the new hires, but we will be reimbursing them for this
Okay.
new every 5 years.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, discussion and interaction regarding Employee Benefits Committee recommendation. Do I have a motion? Motion approved by Mr. Daniels, second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion?
We've been trying every year, and the last couple of years we've been able to move this forward in July versus August or September because we print booklets and it gives us more time to get ready for open enrollment. But this is consistent. It was unanimous out of the committee, and this is consistent with what we have done in the budget. It's consistent with what we've been doing the past couple of years, so feel good about it.
Any further discussion?
One quick question. Right now, it shows online as recommended. Will this be converted to approved after a board vote on the website? When you drill down on the benefits page, right now it shows recommended. Will we convert the title to approved?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, we're trying to do this to stage for the benefit guide that all employees will either get online or in person, depending on how they want it. And that happens in November. So.
Right, it's right now, it's on page 14 of our benefits guide, but it says recommended. I just want to make sure we change it over to approved.
Yeah,
on
we
the-
will.
On the printing. Okay,
We'll change it when it gets
thank you.
time to do it.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. Do we need to waive second reading on this one to make it effective immediately?
It's not a policy.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, discussion and interaction regarding bids for Gallatin High football concession stand.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Daniels, second by
Second.
Ms. Brown. Any discussion?
Is that, question, that money's coming from the allocation of,
Yeah, it's a partial, it's still part of what we did, and rolled forward a couple of years ago in the budget cycle. And so we've been through, I hate to misspeak, Johnny's not here, but we've been through probably 2 or 3 variations of some projects. And so now we're kind of, to a point where, we thought the best path forward was to break it up. And so the HVAC, I think, is already happening. I think Andy's working to make sure some things happen with some ceilings and lighting. Then we're doing the bid out for concession stands and some concrete work. And so I think that was the smartest and best path forward, was to kind of break it up into chunks versus just bidding it all out at one time.
would think,
Yeah, the money is part of the money that was already set aside,
Right.
and then the match from the quarterback club.
correct.
That's correct. Yep.
Mr. Daniels?
Yeah, I know, you know, as long as I've been on the board, we've talked, I know with the quarterback club and other members of the community, about doing something at the football stadium. It was really dated. And so I know the money that was provided by the school board was a huge asset in helping this project move forward. We've also got a lot of members of our community that are stepping up and doing a lot of work inside the stadium. I know got a couple members here. They're doing work in the field house, trying to make it a little nicer, even out the floor, so the kids don't, you know, kind of roll out of the field house, you know, when they're trying to get out of before the game. But it's Andy's done a lot of work over there as well. So it's good to see not just you know, the school board, you know, providing funding to make this happen, but members of our community in Gallatin stepping up and putting in money, putting in labor, putting in time, putting in effort to make this project happen. So I'm really excited to see how this shakes out.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Hawkins?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Andy's already made reference, but I'd like to specifically introduce, we have 3 parents and active members of the quarterback club who have been part of this effort. I'd like to recognize them. They are in the crowd tonight. If they wouldn't mind standing, we have Brian Cook, who is the current president of the Gallatin High School Quarterback Club, which supports not only football, but all sports, boys and girls, at Gallatin. We have Royce and Haynes Sloan, who are husband and wife, are also parents of a player. Royce is also the designated committee chair for the renovation for the field house.
Congratulations.
So, and then, did I say Royce? I meant Haynes. I'm sorry, Haynes, but Royce is the communications guru working with her husband Haynes. Haynes is the committee chair. Royce is helping him and reaching out and making sure everybody's on board. Is that correct? Okay. And has taken pictures which were alarming to me when I saw the current deplorable state of the field house. I thank Royce and Haynes for sending those to me. Haynes has also made a point that I think is really great. This represents a remarkable example of a public-private partnership in terms of stakeholders, citizens, alumni coming forward and putting together the funds that the board, under a previous leadership, set aside for matching. I think this is a great example of something that's very needed and very well targeted. And this is the field house that's literally 230 yards away from where we sit right now. So thank you all for your positive. I urge your positive consideration and favorable vote on this motion tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Mr. Brown?
Mr. Chairman, just happened to be reading this, came last month. It talks about inserting some stuff on the meeting that we don't have to go through with, you know? Good example just here. This is about rogue on the board. If you hadn't read that, read it, please. There's some stuff that comes up we don't need to have on a meeting and interrupt some things that we really need to be discussing. Those that hadn't read that, I appreciate it if you would read that. That's the journal you got in the mail. Try it.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
And I'll
Any
give
further
this to the
discussion?
new board member that takes my place.
Any just further discussion on the Gallatin High football concession stand? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Seeing none, motion carries. Item number 4, discussion and interaction regarding the final release of retainage for Station Camp Middle School project. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion for approved for Mr. Cordell, second by
Second.
Ms. Bachman, I think. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, unfinished business. Item number 1, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the general purpose budget. Do I hear a motion?
To approve, Mr. Chair.
Motion move to approve by Mr. Wise, second by Ms. Brown. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Seeing none, motion carries. Next item, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the federal budget.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Wise, second by Ms. Brown. Any discussion?
Roll, baby.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion and interaction of study session items. Mr. Wise.
I would like to, in next month's study session, discuss White House High School naming the gymnasium for Mr. Jeff Bennett. Mr. Jeff Bennett has spent, I guess, 40-plus years in education, maybe all of it at White House High School. And he's helped a lot of people, both in the classroom, on the gym floor, on the football field, in the assistant principal's office, in the cafeteria. Most of the times I saw him was in the cafeteria. But Mr. Cordell will help me with some statistics for our study session next month. But I would like to put that on study session. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
We're gonna take out the lunchroom for it.
Put that in resolution.
All right. There'll be some other stuff on there.
Yeah, we've got a wellness policy, and we've got our continuing journey through the policy manual, and we've got a couple other things we'll have in front of you.
I know we have a wellness policy, Katie. It should be.
Okay. And if you have anything that you want to get on there, contact Jeremy or Dr. Phillips or me or somebody, and we'll see about getting it on there for you. Next item on the agenda is communications from the board. I'll start with Ms. Hayes.
Thank you, Chairman Brewer. This Saturday is the Hendersonville High School State Dinner and Auction. It is a big event. My husband's been the auctioneer since I was president of the Quarterback Club back in the day. So he does a great job, and it's a wonderful collaboration of community and the coaches and the football players involved, the cheerleaders involved. It's wonderful. Andy Brown, the team, Dr. Phillips' leadership, Don Long, the work that they have been doing in a window of summer, those weeks that they know they've got to get these projects done and get ready for the school opening. They're phenomenal. Talking to Dr. Phillips earlier, what's going on at Ellis, they're going to be so grateful to have air conditioning in the gym, in the round. There's just been a lot of work, the checklist and checks, getting these things accomplished. We just sometimes walk into the schools, and I know we don't take it for granted, but you walk in the schools and to really know what it took to get school ready when you've had renovations and you've got projects and you've got air conditioning units to put in, and you've got you're power washing the front of buildings. And so thank you. I'm very, very grateful for seeing that those are the needs, and then for the work that it takes to get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Ms. Bachman?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Looking forward to another great year. Hopefully we'll start off on a very smooth opening, and Whitten School is coming right along. I go by there 2 or 3 times a week, but it's going to be wonderful. And the weather has been cooperating, so hope we can get it dried in so we can before the fall rains start. And so we're just very proud of everything that we've accomplished this year and look forward to another great year starting soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bachman. Mr. Hawkins.
A single point of thanks. This is the first meeting of our new fiscal year, and we are starting with an on-track approved budget, thanks to the county commission and the citizens that have stepped forward to serve on that commission and to support our public schools, and I'm grateful to all of them.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Mr. Daniels.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, I know as, you know, we're wrapping up summer, you know, a lot of times when we think about education, we think about, you know, teachers being off and it gives them a chance to rejuvenate, but we've got a lot of people in the school system that aren't off for summer. You know, Andy and his team been working hard, mowing grass, getting in air conditioning and all the other things. You know, I saw some pictures from Union. Lance been over there painting the school all summer. But we've got a lot of staff that are putting in a lot of their own blood, sweat, and tears and energy to make our schools, you know, an exciting place for our kids to walk into, a place they can enjoy, a place they can feel safe, and a place they can learn. And a lot of that's, you know, a direct reflection of some of the decisions Dr. Phillips' staff have made in making sure that we've got the right people leading our schools. And that's why I think we're seeing our scores improve and we continue to rise within this state is because of the people that we've got teaching our kids every single day. So thank you, and let's get ready to start a new year.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Ms. Wise.
No comment.
Ms. Brown.
I just want to say that unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for you, I will have to either Skype or call in my next 3 times because I'm on my R&R as requested by my doctor, so I won't be here for a little bit, but y'all, I'm sure don't need me.
No comment.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Gregory.
No comment.
No comment?
I said no comment.
Okay. Mr. Brown. Ms. Brown, you got a comment?
You've already heard my comment, but if you hadn't read this thing about the rogue on the board, we're not in here for a political reason to try to get reelected somewhere. I'm in here, I came 12 years ago, I thought I could be a help to the children of this county. I've done everything I know to do to try to do that. But never have I made a discussion to say vote for me the next time I run. But I'm just saying that to back up the point I made. If you have not read this rogue on the board, read the thing and see if you're participating in that. Chances are you're not. If you're not guilty. But you can speed up your meeting and stick strictly to the business that we need to handle and move on with the meeting, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I'll end with saying we're looking forward to the school year opening up. I always look forward to all the bus calls that we get. And yeah, the bus didn't show up, the bus did show up, but it's wrong place, wrong time, where's my kid? All these different things, so I'll just say that let's look forward to those and understand that Clint's doing a fantastic job and he knows where those kids are, and just kind of roll with it and help them the best way you can. And other than that, I feel like I'm so adjourned.